Perhaps that's why we're still
Right.
doing what we're doing. This is a track called No Quarter.
Good evening, Wednesday. And this is going to throw people off a little bit, but I am actually doing M Tuesday on Wednesday. I wasn't able to do an M Tuesday video yesterday because my younger daughter had her confirmation yesterday. So we spent the time with my daughter and went out to dinner and just enjoyed the evening. So Ireland is now a fully vested Catholic, and good for her. So that's why there was no M Tuesday. So what we have here on the table is the Sunshine Special, which was a developmental car that was put together with Hurst and the GM Chevy manufacturer, and there was a couple variations of this car made, and none of them made it to production. One of the things that was done to this car specifically was the Hurst shift kit. It had there was a couple different components from different Hurst shift kits put together to create this specific shift kit, if that makes any sense. One of the added features that Hurst and Chevy wanted to get in on was this fabric roof that was like a rollback, and it had a roller by the driver's side mirror inside the adjuster that would allow you to crank the roof back. And although there was some cars that were built, the one with this roof, I believe it was a one-off from what I'm reading here. And so on January 28th of 1971, the unique Hurst Sunshine Special was sold to Alan D. Jones, who traded a 1969 Corvette for it. Jones, an engineer by trade, kept the car for a couple of years, even drag raced it. With the 410 gears, it posted low 14 seconds on the couple of occasions he made it onto the track. In 73, the car was sold again, and by 1980 was starting to look worse for wear. Fortunately, a guy by the name of James Ostrin stepped in and decided to put the one-of-a-kind Camaro away in storage for 5 years, which helped prevent the car from deteriorating much further. In 1988, a doctor, Michael Cruz, came across the Hurst C28 listed for sale on a Detroit bulletin board. Recognizing just how rare and significant the Daytona Yellow Z was, he negotiated a deal with the then owner to completely restore the car to its former glory, right down to the subframe. Once completed, the Sunshine was shipped out to the West Coast, where Cruz kept it as his base in the Mission Viejo, California, for the next decade. Cruz later sold it, and the car migrated north, first to Oregon, then Washington State. In the last decade, it came back east to Great Lakes, and at present is part of the legendary motor car collection in Halton Hills, Ontario. The one-of-a-kind Z is pretty much in the same condition it was in when delivered to the second owner, Alan Jones, in 1971. Getting behind the wheel is quite an amazing experience. The low dash and wraparound windshield offer superb visibility. Even the small back window doesn't impede. The thick-rimmed steering wheel is a delight to hold, and the seats are surprisingly supportive, especially compared with the 1969 Camaro chairs. Upon turning the key, the LT1 small block roars to life. It's loud but blip the throttle, and even on modern pump gas, it feels quite civilized for such a high compression engine. Move the shifter into drive and the car feels like it wants to jump forward. The short rear gearing means that it's easy to get right into the power band and under acceleration. The Z behaves like a scalded cat. The sound is sensational and the torque is plentiful. Although it's now 40 years old, what's most surprisingly is the car's handling. Well, it's more than 40 years old. It's pushing 50 plus years now. This article I'm reading from is dated probably about 10 years ago, if not a little bit more. Even riding on reproduction polyglass tires, it feels very, very stable with nice turn in and very little understeer. The braking system, thanks to part to the standard front disc, is superb by muscle era standards. No wonder Buff Book writers wax lyrical about the Z28 upon its debut. And perhaps it's testimony to how good this car actually was that, despite of a couple hiccups along the way, the second generation Camaro would endure through some of the darkest and most difficult times in the American automotive industry. By the late 70s, Z28 still offered genuine performance, sizzle via a 350 V8 and handling suspension. Not only that, but they were selling in record numbers amid a market generally gone sour on hot cars. There's no question then that even a mere decade after its introduction, the 1970.5 Camaro Z28 was an undisputed modern classic, an accolade that's even more relevant today. As for the Hurst Sunshine Special, it represents the ultimate expression of a car that was the baddest homologation Trans Am racer Chevy ever built. So there's quite a bit of information here. The base price on this car for 1970 started at $2,727. That's pretty funny. So the total list price with all the options that the car had on it, it came out to $4,307.90. Now, you add in the Z28 performance package, that ups it another $572.95. The RS appearance package was another $168.55. Soft Ray tinted glass is another $37.95. So a lot of these things that seem very cheap now would be outrageously expensive now. 0 to 60 in 6.5 seconds. It did 14.5 seconds at 98 miles per hour in the quarter mile. It had a top speed of 19 miles per hour. The heart of the 70.5 Z28's performance package was the new LT1 350 V8. Rated at 360 horsepower, it packed a serious punch, making this the most bloodthirsty Z28 of the classic era. It's pretty interesting. The view taken through the open sunroof shows the interior to good effect. Full instrumentation came courtesy of regular production order U14. And U14 special equipment package was cost $84.30. And if you wanted an AM push button radio, that was another $61. Wow. For an AM push button radio, that seems a little expensive. Power front disc brakes were $47.40. And the positive traction rear axle was $44.25. Hey, could you imagine if they were selling things for this price now? Jeez. People be going crazy building cars. You're not going to find those prices anymore to recreate a car from that time era. But, so this car was like a one-off, and it was owned by one person. who used it for track racing, and he only used it a couple times at that. It's an amazing car, actually, considering all that it went through, and to be a one-off. That's an amazing piece of historical muscle car history right there. And in fact, the rollaway roof was used on some Chevy models. It just was not put into production on the Camaro. So it was most notably on the Buick Apollo and the Oldsmobile Omega X body compacts from the 1971 year. So they did do a production with the roof, it just wasn't on the Camaro. And that is truly a one-off. It was definitely a high-performance package, and Hurst wanted to get in on the action along with GM. And they created this car together. I guess in a way it's kind of cool that they didn't put it into production, because it just obviously makes this car that much more unique. That body style, it's just a beautiful body style for the. I mean, there was some minor changes with the grill and the air dam in the front and everything, but for the most part, the body had remained the same since all the way up to the early 80s, along with the Firebird Trans Am. So there it is, the Hurst Sunshine Special in all its glory, and this is an M2 casting. As you can tell, the doors don't exactly sit proper, but again, we're talking about M2, so that kind of quality is to be expected, which is sad. I don't know if any of you guys are subscribed to the M2 YouTube channel, but most recently, the owner of the M2 company was on and said that he was going to be at one of the major diecast conventions. And anyway, people made some comments on his channel, and I made a comment as well, and I asked him what he had. I said, everybody loves your brand, but what do you intend to do about the quality control issues that are coming out of your product? I said that's something that you should be more concerned about, as opposed to signing autographs, because you're going to lose a lot of customers if you don't step on it and get a grip on things. It's a shame, because M2 has the ability to be a nice diecast, and they can be built really well. It's just with these opening features, they build them like they just don't care, and it's sad, because you have the potential to make such an awesome product. And I mean, you can see how the doors don't sit right, and the hood, I have to pull up hard to get it to stay up, because it's like a spring. It'll slam shut if it doesn't pass a certain point when you're lifting it. And I wanted to show that it does have opening features. Not that it's that big of a deal, but I mean, come on, M2, get on the people's back with the quality control. Do something about it. You got potential. I mean, look at the auto riders that you come out with. They don't have any opening features, and those cars are built pretty nice. As far as I know, I haven't had anything fall off any of the auto riders that I own. Although I have come across issues with the more premium brand, which you would think they would be on top of, but we all know M2 and their lack of concern with quality control, and it shows in their product, and it's a shame. This car, as you can see, is built and represents the actual Hurst Sunshine Special really well. I just wish the doors would sit right on it. I'm glad they didn't have it a feature with the roof sliding back, because I'm sure that would just be a total mess. But at least they got it right with making it look like a fabric, the best they could. I mean, it is plastic, but they have some ridges in it to give it the appearance of fabric folded back. And it was a leather roof, which is just really odd to use for a roof. I can imagine what that would sound like when it's raining. I mean, I guess it wouldn't be that much different than my Jeep when you hear raining hitting the soft top. I don't know, just a little odd to me. Very unique, but very odd. But if you're ever near Ontario, Canada, that's where the car resides, as of 10 years ago anyway. That's where the car is parked in a museum. So if you're ever in that area, look it up and check it out. So that's what I have on tap for Wednesday with my M Tuesday. I'm a day late and $1 short, I know, but at least I still got it on here. I said I was going to do a video of it, and I did. Boom, there it is. So that is what's on tap. So thank you guys for hanging out with me while I share the Hurst Sunshine Special with you and give you a little bit of background knowledge on it. I hope it was helpful or entertaining or satisfying, if you want to call it that. Just a little bit of factual knowledge that I wanted to present with the car, because it's such a unique car in general, and I'm glad that I have this diecast in my collection, because it represents a unique era in general of the muscle cars. So anyway, I'm Rick. I wish I was Jimmy Page's road manager. You've been watching a whole lot of Zep Diecast channel, and I'm Rick. You guys stay safe, stay healthy, and take care of one another. And I will catch you on my next video.
I told you he intended to have a good time.